Hey everyone, my name is Catalyst, welcome back to the channel. Today I just wanted to have a short discussion about anti-cheat in Battlefield, why it's so important, and what little we know about the anti-cheat in Battlefield 2042. In case you all didn't know, Battlefield 5 has some pretty crappy anti-cheat, and the truth of the matter is as much as I would like to say it's just a Battlefield 5 issue, anti-cheat has been an ongoing issue for over a decade's worth of Battlefield titles. Cheaters can target community servers in Battlefield 4 and DDoS them to crash the server when they get banned from it. People can fly around aimbotting with elite kits in Battlefield 1, and then we have Battlefield 5, which has seemingly had no anti-cheat since the very beginning of the game's lifecycle. It's a whole nother can of worms, and a can that has consistently gotten worse as time has gone on. Having been on console for a majority of the game's lifecycle, I never had to worry too much about cheaters in my game. The most cheating I ever experienced was when I was playing against players with Cronus Maxes or mouse and keyboard via a Zim. I'm not going to say that I completely ignored the hacking epidemic that was occurring on PC, but I guess you could say it fell on deaf ears a little bit, as I could not relate or really empathize with what was happening to people who would come into my chat and tell me about the massive amounts of cheating, in particular cheating going on in the Asia region servers. Now being on PC, I've got to say, for any of you on console thinking that the PC community is overselling the amount of cheating going on, they aren't at all, and it varies from low-level snipers hitting nothing but headshots, to wall hacks, to blatant rage hacking. I would say that on average, I run into about 3 cheaters a night during a 4-hour stream session on Battlefield 5, and those are the fairly obvious ones. The game is currently in a state in which every suspicious death you receive instantly sends a red flag to your brain that the player is cheating because there is no accountability, and there really isn't an effective system in place to stop cheating. I've played against some of the best competition in the world on both console and PC, so when a low level kills me faster than some competitive players do, you gotta believe it's going to raise an eyebrow or two, and I'm certainly not the only one. Some nights are certainly better than others. Sometimes I can go the entire stream without seeing one raid tracker, and other times it seems like they're in every server that I try to join. The reality of the current state of EA's anti-cheat system is so widely accepted by the community that nobody stops to think that a player might just be good at the game and instead jump all the way to the conclusion that this player is cheating. And that's a huge problem, not only because the wrong people are being reported, but because matches often divulge into a state of both teams accusating the other team's top players. I used to get a kick out of being accusated early on, and don't get me wrong, sometimes it is still pretty funny, but now it's becoming frequent enough to where it is genuinely annoying that I can't just enjoy the game without A, hiding my chat, or B, getting berated in said chat that I'm cheating. And I don't say that to flaunt my ego at all, but to point out that the mental health of the community when it comes to cheating is as bad as it's ever been, to the point where it's bordering on paranoia. If you have over a 3 KD in a lobby, you might as well be cheating to most of that lobby. And the advice that most YouTubers have given in the past to just spectate them to confirm your suspicions doesn't help much either, because the spectator system in Battlefield 5 is woefully clunky and buggy and oftentimes incriminates players rather than clearing their name. And I've been lucky in some aspect that I wasn't actively playing or making content during some of the worst of it, when streamers like Stada and Enders were getting mercilessly stream sniped by aimbotters to the point where they had to publicly beg DICE community managers and developers to ban the players harassing them. There was a period of time of about a week or so a few months ago where a hacker was stream sniping the entire Battlefield 5 directory on Twitch, mocking the streamers that he was following around because he knew that DICE's response time to the cheating would either be too slow or non-existent. That's how bad it's gotten at times. A game's streamability is more important than ever in modern gaming, and even though I personally haven't been affected by it, I know that multiple people have been affected by the stream sniping cheating. Last week there was a cheater on American servers called Battlefield Star. You can see him cheating in the background video here, and the reason I remember that name specifically is not only because he was in my game at some point, but later that night I saw a Twitter clip of the exact same guy in a voice chat saying that EA's anti-cheat systems, specifically those used for the Battlefield games, are some of the easiest to decode and crack that he has ever seen. I believe also somewhere in that video he also mentions how the cheats are on a subscription service, so you pay a monthly fee and you can cycle through accounts as long as you want to, pointing to the fact that EA needs to stop just doing account bans and needs to move towards IP and hardware bans. I was unable to find that clip again to show you, unfortunately, but there are multiple videos in which cheaters talk with other players and streamers about how easy the anti-cheat is to bypass on Battlefield. This needs to change for Battlefield 2042. So what does Battlefield 2042 plan to do about it? Well, according to Senior Design Director Daniel Berlin during an interview with Epic Games, Battlefield 2042 will use the EA Positive Play system to prevent cheating and in-game harassment. I had not heard much about the Positive Play charter, so after some quick research, I came to this webpage explaining exactly what it is, and to be honest with you, it looked more like the posters in my college dorm room telling me not to do drugs and have unprotected sex, as opposed to a legitimate explanation on how this system will prevent cheating in the game. In other words, the entire article spends time telling you what to do and what not to do, as opposed to telling us how they're actually going to stop the people who purposely are going to cheat and harass others. The article gives a list of consequences, but they mostly devolve into account bans and suspensions, which, as we already discussed, effectively do nothing since players can just come back on another account due to the cheats being on a subscription service and the bans not being IP or hardware bans. So in reality, it really comes down to how effective the anti-cheat is in-game in catching these players, and the answer to that, of course, is still unknown because the game isn't out yet, but based on how things have been recently, I can't say that I'm very positive about the future. The EA Positive Play Charter has been launched and in effect for over a year now, and things currently are still very unhealthy when it comes to Battlefield games, but maybe that's more of a DICE issue as opposed to an EA issue, because while games like Apex Legends do have their cheaters here and there, every FPS game does, it isn't nearly as bad as Battlefield or Battlefront is. But there is one ace in the hole for Battlefield 2042, and that is the possibility of cross-platform play. Depending on what kind of crossplay there is, or if there is any at all, it could determine the strength of the anti-cheat in the game. If the game is cross-platform between PC and console, you would hope that there is an extremely strong anti-cheat client in place, so that console players do not experience the wealth of cheating that has been taking place on PC for years now. If the game has just crossplay between both consoles, well, there might be some more reason to worry there since PC is once again isolated. Crossplay is a huge selling point for the game, and it hasn't even been officially announced yet, and the speculation and hype has been running rampant that there will be cross-platform play in the game, so that leads me to believe that DICE and EA might take the extra time and cost effectiveness to have a better anti-cheat system so it doesn't completely sabotage the most important Battlefield title in years, and it is such an important title for EA and DICE, and there is a lot riding on Battlefield 2042, and I truly hope with all my heart that this game is fun to play and experience for all platforms. Thanks for watching this video. If you made it to the end, consider leaving a like and a comment. What do you think about anti-cheat in Battlefield? As you know by now, the way the YouTube algorithm works is the more you interact with a channel's content, the more you see it. So if you like the video and want to see more of me, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and interact with the video in some way. Follow me on Twitch. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, thank you so much for watching. My name is Catalyst, and I will see you all another time.